He failed, not once, but twice. Broke, rejected, and written off by his own family at 26, Milton Hershey had nothing left. But what he built next didn't just change his life, it changed how the entire world eats chocolate. At 26, standing in Lancaster with empty pockets and a reputation for failure, Milton Hershey looked like a man who had run out of chances. He had already failed twice. 2 businesses had collapsed. Family members who once supported him had turned away. His uncles refused to lend him money again, and his name carried more doubt than promise. He had tried Philadelphia, then New York, chasing opportunity, only to return worse each time. Chocolate meant nothing to him then. It was a luxury, something reserved for people with money he had never known. Yet within a few years, that same product would carry his name across the world and build one of the most powerful confectionery empires in history. Milton Hershey's story began far from wealth or influence. Born in 1857 in rural Pennsylvania, he grew up as a poor farm kid in a family that struggled with stability. His father drifted between ideas and ventures, rarely succeeding, while his mother provided discipline and grounding. At the age of 14, Hershey was placed as an apprentice printer under Sam Ernst, working for a German-English newspaper. The job was monotonous, the environment tense, and the young Hershey hated every moment of it. After months of frustration, he sabotaged the printing press by throwing his hat into the machinery, effectively ending his apprenticeship. He was fired immediately. Instead of punishment, his mother understood something important. This was not the path meant for him. Determined to find something better suited to her son, she secured him a position with Joseph Royer, a confectioner in Lancaster. This marked the beginning of Hershey's real education. Royer's shop was rooted in tradition, where candy and ice cream were made by hand using unwritten recipes passed through experience rather than instruction. At first, Hershey was not trusted with the craft itself. He washed dishes, delivered orders, and served customers. But his mother intervened again, paying Royer to properly teach him. Over the next 4 years, Hershey absorbed everything. He learned how sugar behaved under heat, how timing changed texture, and how small adjustments could affect quality and taste. He also observed the business side, pricing, sourcing, and customer behavior. What others dismissed as simple work, Hershey treated as a system to be mastered. Armed with this knowledge, Hershey opened his first business in Philadelphia in 1876, during the Centennial Exhibition. At first, the location brought heavy foot traffic and promising sales. He sold candy, ice cream, fruits, and nuts, working tirelessly with his family. But when the exhibition ended, so did the crowds. Costs remained, prices rose, and debts accumulated. Despite borrowing money repeatedly, he could not keep the business afloat. Exhausted and ill, he filed for bankruptcy at just 24 years old. The failure followed him as he moved from city to city: Denver, New Orleans, Chicago, and New York, working in other confectionery shops and learning new techniques. In Denver, he discovered something that would later change his life: the use of fresh milk in caramel making. It created a smoother texture and better flavor compared to the paraffin commonly used at the time. He carried this idea with him to New York, where he launched another candy business. Early success gave him hope, but competition quickly crushed it. Larger companies with more resources pushed him out, and by 1886, he faced bankruptcy again. This time, support disappeared. His family refused to help. He returned to Lancaster with nothing but experience and one valuable insight about milk-based caramels. Back home, Hershey started over quietly. Without a storefront, he made small batches of candy and sold them directly. He refined his caramel recipe using fresh milk, improving taste and shelf life through constant experimentation. Slowly, customers began to notice. Orders became consistent. With the help of a small loan from a former associate, he rented a workspace and began producing caramels full-time. The turning point came when a British importer placed a large order, impressed by the quality of his product. To fulfill it, Hershey needed more capital. The bank refused him, but a cashier who believed in his work personally guaranteed the loan. Hershey delivered the order successfully, and when payment arrived, it cleared his debts and gave him something he had never truly experienced before: momentum. By the early 1890s, the Lancaster Caramel Company had grown into a major success. It employed over 1,000 workers and generated millions in revenue. Hershey had finally achieved stability and respect. From the outside, his journey looked complete. But success created a new kind of restlessness. He saw limits in caramels, fluctuating sugar prices, increasing competition, and a product that felt capped. Meanwhile, he noticed something else. Chocolate was growing in demand, especially in Europe. In America, it remained expensive and inconsistent, treated as a luxury rather than a staple. Hershey saw an opportunity.
In 1893, he attended the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, where he encountered German chocolate-making machinery capable of large-scale production. He purchased the equipment and began experimenting quietly. For years, he tested recipes, refining processes and learning from failure. The more he worked with chocolate, the more convinced he became that it could be transformed into an everyday product. In 1900, he made a bold decision. He sold the Lancaster Caramel Company for $1 million, walking away from a successful business to pursue chocolate full-time. Hershey chose to build his chocolate factory in a rural area surrounded by dairy farms. The decision puzzled many, but it gave him control over key resources like fresh milk, water, and labor. The biggest challenge was incorporating milk into chocolate without ruining its texture or shelf life. After countless experiments, he succeeded by using condensed milk, creating a formula that allowed chocolate to be produced at scale while maintaining quality. This breakthrough changed everything. Hershey introduced milk chocolate bars priced at just 5 cents, making them affordable to ordinary people. This was a revolutionary move. Chocolate was no longer a luxury, it became accessible to everyone. Distribution expanded rapidly, and sales soared. By 1906, the company was generating millions in revenue. Products like Hershey's Kisses followed, further cementing the brand's popularity. Hershey had turned chocolate into a mass-market product, transforming the industry entirely. As his business grew, Hershey focused on something few industrialists of his time considered community. He built an entire town around his factory, complete with housing, schools, and public services. Workers were provided with stable wages and good living conditions. During economic downturns, including the Great Depression, Hershey continued building projects to keep people employed. He believed that business success should improve lives, not just generate profit. His approach to wealth became even more evident in his philanthropic efforts. Unable to have children, Hershey and his wife founded a school for orphaned boys in 1909. After her death, he transferred the majority of his wealth into a trust to support the school. This decision ensured that his company's success would continue to benefit future generations. Even today, the Milton Hershey School Trust remains a major shareholder in the company, funding education and care for thousands of children. When Milton Hershey died in 1945, his legacy was already secure. The company he built continued to grow, becoming one of the largest chocolate manufacturers in the world. Its products are now sold globally, generating billions in revenue. But Hershey's true achievement goes beyond business. He transformed chocolate from a luxury into a daily experience and used his success to create lasting social impact. From a poor farm kid with nothing to a man who reshaped an entire industry, Milton Hershey's story is one of resilience, vision, and purpose. He failed repeatedly, faced rejection, and rebuilt himself from nothing. Yet he never stopped learning, never stopped adapting, and never lost sight of the bigger picture. In the end, he didn't just turn chocolate into billions, he turned it into something that could touch lives far beyond his own. If you love real stories of struggle, risk, and success, hit subscribe and join us for more incredible journeys.